The consequences of being involved with the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families and Child Protective Services is so serious and severe that we should not have anonymous people reporting. I have seen anonymous reports turn into a court case where children are placed in foster care and parents' rights are terminated when they never, ever see their children again. And if that's not enough to give you pause for thought, I don't know what else is. I do not like anonymous reporting. I think it's bogus, baseless, and false. And a lot of times it's things such as a landlord ratting out a tenant didn't like because they didn't pay rent or they trashed the place. Something they did was wrong. And the tenant might not have been right. They certainly don't deserve to have Child Protective Services falsely, baseless, and bogusly called on them. Same thing in the middle of a divorce. I see one side looking for leverage to get custody or a more favorable settlement in the divorce. So all of a sudden, here we go, the nasty card, sexual abuse. And then you got other cases such as a parent gets reported on by their parents or their siblings because they get into a beef, they get into a fight, a disagreement. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen this. And we're able to find out, despite the fact, in one case, the sister and the mother stated that they did not file against their daughter when they did. Now, how did I find out? I got the police reports, and in the police reports it stated right in there that the sister and the mother had filed with Child Protective Services, despite their numerous statements right to my client's face that they didn't do it. Then she handed them the police report, and then they acted like they had saw a ghost. They were outed, and they had lied and lied and lied. And they put their own nieces and nephews and grandchildren in harm's way, Child Protective Service, because the allegations were bogus, baseless, and false, and they were made anonymously. Why I am against anonymous reporting and why you should be too. I recently had a case where a mother moved down to Florida, and her name was Barbara, not a real name, and she had a couple girls, and they were young, and her family and her did not see eye to eye, and the family kept calling the police for well-being check on the children, despite the fact that this family lived in Massachusetts, and they had never been to Florida, to this home where the mother lived with her two daughters, nor seen the children in Florida. So this client who I represented when she was in Massachusetts against her own family called me. He says, "Kevin, what can I do? I don't know who's doing this." I said, "Well, who would benefit from this by harassing you?" It's just my family, of course. So when we found out they had called the police, we went what is called a tarot tape, which is the recording of the person calling the police asking for the well-being check. We went and saw the chief of police, got the tape, got it transcribed, and it absolutely positively was my client's sister doing this. Now, you must have what's called personal knowledge. You must be able to see an event, remember an event, then be able to repeat back what you've seen or heard and know the difference between the truth and a falsehood and the wickedness of the latter. That's what the Supreme Court says. And in this case, this person calling down was abusing the Child Protective Services, was abusing the legal system, and was abusing her own sister and two nieces. And that's just awful. So when I say this to you, that I'm against anonymous reporting, is because I'm not against anonymous reporting. I'm against the abuse that follows from this anonymous reporting. And I've seen it time and time and time and time and time again through my career. And it's just awful. And there's no need for this. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've represented clients, and as soon as I see anonymous, I just shake my head and say, "Oh my heavens, here we go again." And the allegations routinely turn out to be bogus, baseless, and false.